it looks like we're going to be okay through 14-15, but 15-16 becomes the year that we have to bump to 3%. But it's close, so it really kind of depends on how things play out in the next year or two, and we see how the trend is going. We're going to be very close at 14-15.
So that means that we conceivably would have to reduce our budget in those years by another $2.9 million because we can't spend the money.
Correct.
We also have a couple of years to turn things around and start attracting students back to the district, which is what I hope for. You had mentioned savings from special ed, transportation, and textbooks. Are those ones that did I get that wrong?
Well, textbooks are in the unrestricted general fund, so
okay.
Right now they're part of Tier 3 categorical, so temporarily they're unrestricted.
Well, so my question was, are those ongoing? Do we anticipate those to be ongoing savings, or especially in regards to textbooks, was there anything where we deferred purchase, or is that something did we just find more efficiencies? I was wondering if we could get some more clarification on that.
Textbooks is a Tier 3 categorical, and a large portion of it has currently been swept under the flexibility provisions. We actually haven't been doing much in textbook adoptions, and we've been utilizing our restricted lottery for a lot of our textbook purchases, or sort of replenishing until we get to the end of Tier 3 flexibility. So that's really a different issue. That's not where the contributions are coming from. But with regard to special education, transportation, routine restricted maintenance, routine restricted maintenance, as part of its flexibility, we're not required to contribute the full 3%, so we've been contributing the actual cost of the program based on where we budget that program at its current reduced level. At the end of flexibility, that will go back up again as a requirement. However, with regard to special ed and transportation, we're still looking at, right now, I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to stay at that consistent level of where we were. But that's a year-by-year thing, because as we continue to decline in enrollment as a district-wide, that affects our special education funding as well as affecting our general ed funding, because special education is not funded based on the types and needs of your students. Special education is funded based on ADA. So as our ADA declines, even if our special education ADA goes up, if our regular ed ADA goes down, our overall funding for special ed goes down from the state.
When do we foresee that we will need to return to purchasing textbooks because of the Common Core requirements? And is the technology considered a textbook that's required, or is it an instrument that is an additional expense?
I'm going to turn to Educational Services for responding to Common Core, because it's not my...
I think technology is considered a tool in the Common Core, so it's not replacing, but it's considered a tool as part of that. And we are looking, at the state, and when they're looking at some adoptions around the Common Core, which I believe are 2 years out. So I mean, we're not the only school district around that has swept a majority of its IMFRP funds to fund other positions during these difficult financial times. So I think several school districts will be in the same position.
One of my concerns is that as everybody begins the effort to purchase a new textbook, there isn't going to be a large enough quantity available, because all school districts will be trying to purchase them in the same year, and then we're going to be in violation of the Buildings Act. So
I think also some of the ideas with the Common Core is hopefully by then they'll have some of the issues around textbooks that are electronic versus paper copies being ironed out with tablets and so forth, and Apple and the lawsuit that's going on there. And so I think you're right. In 2 years it will be interesting to see where we're at, but I don't anticipate that every district will be purchasing a hard copy.
Well, didn't they have something around just supplemental? The publishers were going to do something not where you had to buy the full textbook, but they were going to try to supplement your adoption. I don't know where they are with that, by the way, but so that it would be cheaper. And I don't know why I'm looking at Mrs. Locke just because she's looking at me. I thought it was a cheaper way to go for school districts, if we don't do electronic.
Yes, the recent legislation that was passed for the math adoption is going to allow district much more flexibility. So for example, you don't have to purchase the whole package. You'll be able to choose parts. And there will not be a state adopted list the way they've had, where you have to go through the whole process. So there will be much more flexibility. I think it will help us as purchasers.
That's what I'm thinking. They're trying to make it more peaceful because they know we're so broke, all districts. So hopefully they'll be there. I'm pleased to see the state is paying deferrals earlier.
It's
That's
the first sign of hope that we've had yet,
It
yes.
is. I judge it by deferral repayment. Jeez. Any other questions or discussion? They're dropping like flies here. Okay. Then, thank you, Mr. Richards. If there are no
We
further
do need to have a
questions,
motion.
that's what I'm going to, but I didn't think you had to hang out there. So I'd be looking for a motion and a second on the first interim report for 2012 to 13.
Madam President, I move that the board adopt a qualified status for its first interim report, 2012-2013.
Let me try to capture that, because I'm having nothing but trouble here. Okay, I'm sorry, would you restate that? Because when you pull these motions up, interestingly, they're already phrased here, and so if you change it, you have to change the phrasing.
What does it say?
Approve the first interim report as presented, but you were putting in about qualified, and I wanted to know if you wanted that in there.
Well, it's in his report that it's qualified.
Okay, do you want that in the motion?
I believe that I understood the rest of what you're saying, that it's considered qualified.
Okay, then I'll stick with this one, and that's motion by Mrs. Mayo.
Second?
And let's hope this here goes again. I'm doing it. Motion by Mrs. Mayo, second by Mr. Lawrence. We do not want this happening at 10:30. Okay, can I just go to vote?
Here we go.
Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, the motion is to approve the first interim report as presented. So then we'll take a
Just
vote.
get up and tell them what they want. Sit down.
Motion passes 5-0-0. Next item